Alright, so let me get this straight. The video that you guys are seeing right now is just kind of so you guys can watch something as I'm talking, and I'm just going to quickly show you exactly what I'm going to be talking about, just so you don't lose focus, you don't feel bored, and you know that this is going to be basically of why I'm doing this video. So, my right shoulder, my right elbow, and my right ankle right there is what you're seeing in this picture, and that's because I fell on my board while I was at my mom's place for a early Mother's Day. It was just, everybody works different times. Everybody just, there was my family there. Everybody just, they work different hours, so it's pretty hard. And so I was over there the night before Mother's Day, and my two brothers, my two other siblings, they have never rode a electric skateboard. And so I was like, I brought my skateboard with my fiance and we let them ride it. And, I'm a bigger person. I have a little bit more weight than my fiance. She's just really small, and I think probably 80 pounds heavier than her, or a few stones. And so I let them ride it, but unfortunately what had happened next was the trucks on my board decided to loosen. And so the trucks, what I mean on the board is these right here, these are considered trucks. And so basically how this happened was these got loose, and it was a lot looser than I'm expecting them to be. I have them adjusted to my height, my weight, and my stance, because obviously if you don't feel comfortable riding something, you're not going to be good at it. You're not going to, obviously you're going to fall, you're going to make fails, and you're going to either hurt yourself doing that in the process. And that's why adjusting your trucks and making sure that they won't loosen is kind of a big priority, because this is exactly what had happened to me in these photos. And I fell on the pavement. Of course it was at nighttime, but the apartment complex was lit up. There was some, holes in the road, some potholes that obviously I went around, but that's not what made me fall. What made me fall was because I let my two siblings ride my board, and they have different stances, weight, height, and how they control the board. Unfortunately, my board decided to get loose in the trucks, and I did not realize that until I was going a little too fast, and my board kind of kept going straight. And because me going fast and the board being a lot looser than it's supposed to be, I fell. I rolled around on the pavement probably 2 or 3 times. My glasses got knocked off. Luckily, luckily my beanie was on, because I did hit my head, but it's just, there's small bump, there's no bleeding, no nothing. So I did beat up myself a little bit. My board's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with the board. So my right elbow right here and my right ankle, you see, obviously gotten beat up pretty bad. And my right wrist right now that you're seeing is mostly because of what happened. So normally I have my Apple Watch, and that's why you see this big kind of that's why you see this kind of red mark right here. That's because that's where my Apple Watch usually sits. And so, I mean, of course there's gonna be some red spots because I wear a watch right there constantly. So this is basically, shouldn't really be seen. That was one right here. This was one of the pictures that he first took after I had gotten home, probably half an hour later. And in the bathroom, in this picture right here to the left, is the picture that I took probably an hour after I'd gotten home. So you can tell that in this picture on the right, there's not really much you can see. You can tell there's some bruising. You can tell that there's some scrape right here. But then an hour later, you can definitely see that a lot of the damage did come in and really started bruising up, really started kind of puffing up. And I didn't really get a side-by-side comparison between my right wrist and my hand to my left wrist and hand. But I mean, it's still puffed up a little bit. It's hard to use my mouse. I find it more a little easier to use a controller. So I've been playing a lot of the Nintendo Switch lately, and I mean, my ankle, my left ankle, I don't have a picture of that because it's more of an internally kind of, well, kind of internally damaged. So I don't obviously have a picture of that, but my ankle really hurts. It's actually been 2 days so far, and it's still basically the same. I'm not one to go to the hospital. I avoid it like a plague. I don't really find it necessary unless it kind of drags on a little too much. But be careful of your trucks because if they get loose a little bit, you're going to end up hurting yourself, kind of like I did. Once again, it wasn't because of it being dark, because there was tons of light. It was mostly because of the trucks on the board decided to get loose with different people standing on it, different stances, and that's why I fell. So basically, if other people are going to be on your board, make sure that your stance isn't messed up by the trucks on the board being looser. And really, that's all I really have to say. It's just to be careful of letting other people ride your board, because if you're like me and your board, is a lot looser for your weight or your height or your stance, and you're more comfortable, just be careful of the trucks right here being changed or loosened with other people's stances and weight being on it. And so it's not going to stop me from writing. I wrote it yesterday after still hurting. It was easier just to stand on the board than to push, obviously, so it wasn't that painful. And I'm not going to be one of those people that get hurt and instantly never do it again. I'm one of those people that just keep going because I don't care. It's pain. Obviously, if you baby it, the next time you get hurt, it's going to be worse and worse because you don't grow a tolerance. So just be careful, and I hope you guys kind of find this to be a little helpful. So with that being said, ciao.